Leider, Ward 1. I'd like to start out by something positive, which is I do commend the town board for having the budget hearings and decisions before the election. It's the right thing to do. I also agree with the legislators and Councilman Mulqueen. It seems to have been a non-discriminatory sign stealing. All of us seem to have lost signs for all parties. I have no idea what's going on. It is a rather strange situation, but hopefully this is a bunch of kids and not political operatives. To go into a couple of items, I also have fellow residents of Ward 1, other than Mr. Patch, who were former vendors and who've lost their licenses. And one of the gentlemen who I discussed as I campaigned this month, basically he showed me the application, and essentially he was afraid that after he filled it out and paid the fee and got his insurance and did all the things to comply, if the board turned him down, he couldn't afford it. And that's one of the problems. We're taking very small businessmen, which are people who are vendors really running hot dog stands, and forcing them to comply with the same regulations that we are asking of businessmen who have a permanent business. Most of the people who are doing this are people who cannot afford to have a fixed place of business. And I think that looking at the new law, while it may be better than the old law, which prohibited everything, the town board might consider a more lenient law so that people who are extremely small businessmen, who are the 5 or 6 vendors in this town who are affected by this law, should not all be put out of business. I think that is wrong. Now, to address comments of Mr. King regarding my statements as to the water board, I checked with outside persons, and they had recommended that $8 million be the appropriate amount for a town of this size with our water district. If I'm incorrect, and if the persons I went to who were from outside of the town of Walker were wrong, I apologize. That's where I got my information from. And I agree with you. You have $4 million in the budget. I'm not questioning that. And I would never question Mr. Ingracia as to his ability. I was simply told by outside sources who I went to that $8 million was the appropriate amount. And to hopefully resolve the issue of the Route 302 property, yes, I do own property on the other side of Route 302, which purchased with the intent of being part of the museum. The museum is step one, as Mr. Tulp stated. We hope to add an educational facility. And as far as that property, the bulk of it is wetlands. So while it appears to be 200 acres, more than 50% of it are wetlands and are not buildable. Another portion is within the right-of-way of the new I-86. So it's actually more like 10 or 15 acres of usable on one parcel and about 5 acres on the other. So it's not quite as fearsome as people may state, but I have no intentions of having anything done on that property other than things that will complement and be part of the fire truck museum. That's why I purchased the property. And thank you.
Thank you.